to see you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Thank
oh
you
my
for...
God,
know,
2 weeks in a row. Look at this.
I'm excited.
Boy, the guy before me is walking on cloud 9 out there. I don't know what you
he's
did
great.
to him.
I think he's going to be a filmmaker this year. I really do.
He's
we met last week
he
on
has so
War
much
Horse.
enthusiasm.
He's got the stuff.
And he's directed a PG-13 war film that feels like you're watching an R-rated war film. Then you go back and watch one of the greatest war scenes of all time in Saving Private Ryan, the opening 20 minutes, and now he's applying that to a PG-13, and you, as an audience member, have to fill in that violence. And I think it's interesting how he does that.
And he told you that he wanted to avoid the gore factor in this movie, right? But you still kind of feel like you're there as a viewer?
Yeah, it's these visual metaphors and these dramatic cutaways, and you're watching the movie, you feel it. But the star of this film are these horses. These horses are better actors than the human beings in the film. I don't know if it's possible, but that horse who played Joey deserves an Academy Award. I mean, he was so good. There's like 11 of them playing him, but you're so emotionally engaged.
I noticed this over the past couple years. I've been watching movies, and maybe this is just me, but is it harder to watch animal characters get hurt in movies than it is to watch human beings, and why is that?
Well, I think it's just that, you know, we come home from work, and we maybe had a lousy day. And the only person that doesn't know we had a lousy day is our dog. You know, or in some sense, even our cat. Whatever they intuit about our day, they're there for us, you know, and there's sort of there's kind of a beautiful, wondrous rapport between people and animals, and it's always been that way. People are fiercely guarded about the safety of their animals.
Kevin McCarthy standing here with one of the stars of the new film, Water for Elephants. I actually really think she should be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress. Coming up next, my interviews with the other stars of the film, Robert Pattinson, Reese Witherspoon, and Christoph Waltz. Stay tuned. Everybody loves the Muppets, and even if you're not a fan of the Muppets, you will become one after seeing this movie. And the passion that Jason Segel has, he's been trying to get this movie made for so long. You look at something like he did, like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, he definitely threw in references there, but he's finally got this movie made, and you can tell it's coming from a fan's perspective.
I'm absolutely starstruck to meet you guys. I'm freaking out.
It's natural.
One of my lifelong dreams, though, is to fist bump with Kermit the Frog. I mean,
my goodness.
Is there anything can you make this happen?
I think we could.
A lifelong dream.
Fist bumping only came into fashion like 5 years ago.
I know.
Yeah, but in Washington, D.C., it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
So, sure, come here.
Can
Let's
we
do
do
it.
this?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Here we go. Ready? And woo.
There are different types of IMAX out there. There's a 70mm IMAX versus an IMAX digital. Most of the theaters in this area that are AMC and Regal Cinemas are using an IMAX digital format, which is not the true IMAX. So you can see the screen right here. This is actually in New York City. That's an AMC Empire Theater in New York City, their IMAX version. Now, when we pan out here, you're going to see what it looks like compared to an actual true 8-story IMAX screen. I mean, look at the size of that screen. We can't even get it on screens, it's so big.
Oh, that's the whole screen. Oh, my goodness.
Oh. So now, that's in New York City. So that's AMC Lincoln Square versus the AMC Empire IMAX.
By the way, I saw you in the hallway. I saw you rocking the Chucks out. I actually went and changed my shoes so I could put some Chucks on.
Nice.
You're rocking the Chucks out, too.
Yours are so much bigger than mine.
Those are awesome. I need to get the high tops. I sleep on them. If I said, Angelina, will you go to dinner with me? Would that work?
I'd have to ask Brad.
Little bumping, little fist bump, head bump, face bump.
The new fist bump now is the jellyfish. You hit it and go.
Ooh, ooh,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
ooh. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
TV, go ahead.
I like that. Had no idea.
Yeah, do that. You want to do it?
But yours is
Kind
so
of
light.
two-shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's what?
You've practiced.
I have.
You've gotten a good jellyfish down.
I'm very awkward with the jellyfish.
Yeah, we were just saying how cute he is.
I like this. See? This is good. This is good. I like. Cool. Congratulations to you, Rocket Life. I just want to let you know that you're
so
awesome.
much. And you're still super cute.
Really nice shirt with your eyes here.
Oh, thank you.
You know that.
I did it for you. I was like, I gotta do this for you. Wrap me. I just want to say it's an honor to meet you and
Thank you
get on
so
the
much for
Oscar.
the.
Yeah, I love the jellyfish. I'm glad.
Andy Serkis, who people might not know, he played Gollum in Lord of the Rings, the guy that's going like My Precious.
Yes,
He plays these performances in it's an aesthetic called performance capture, and the actor himself wears a suit with markers, as you can see right here. That's what he looks like when he's playing the part, and that's what the final character looks like in Lord of the Rings. And he has markers all over his body and his face, and there's dots, and they actually create the digital character from the human performance. Therefore, we're able to get human emotions inside of a digital character.
If this murder mystery were to fall in the lap of James Bond, how differently would he approach this case? And how do you think, what would be the difference between the two characters taking on this mystery?
Well, he wouldn't run away when he's shot at, probably. That's kind of the easiest way to describe it.
Up until last weekend when I saw this movie, I never saw the necessity of 3D in cinema. He has now made 3D an element that is necessary to storytelling if you use it correctly. And he uses it as a depth of field element as opposed to being a gimmick where things are flying out at you. He has created such an immersive, beautiful, gorgeous experience with this 3D. As you're sitting there watching it, you are immersed in this world that he's created, and I was just so blown away by it. I felt more connected to these characters than I have felt to any characters this entire year because I felt like I was right there with them.
I think you have mastered 3D. I think what you've done here with 3D is some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. If you could, hypothetically, go back in your career...
I knew you were going to say yeah.
...and shoot one of your films in 3D, what would it be and why?
Only one? Oh,
yep.
You know, I like 3D so much. I was just all these years, and back in the 50s to the early 50s, I saw all of them. I was 11 years old, and I loved 3D stills, stereoscopic views. So, I mean, for me, what would you think? What would it be? Would it be Taxi Driver would be very intense.
First of all, these movies have made $1.8 billion so far.
Amount of money.
I think sold over 116 million copies worldwide books. I mean, it's a phenomenon.
It is.
And it's one of those movies that generally is critic-proof. But, you know, for me, I've been with the series since the beginning. I went and saw the first one, knew nothing about it. I kind of enjoyed the chemistry between Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. Then the second
all
one...
of it's slow, burning drama.
Awkward. Very, very awkward. But then the second one came out, all the second one was an Abercrombie & Fitch ad. I mean, like, there was literally a scene in the second one where Kristen Stewart, like, falls over or whatever, and Taylor Lautner just takes his shirt off. Just, are you okay?
You know, this whole theme in this movie about hitting a wall and breaking through it and overcoming any type of failure. What was that moment for you as a filmmaker? I mean, maybe it's a specific film where you felt like you hit a wall and you broke through it and you succeeded. What was that moment for you?
I think the big moment for me about hitting the wall was in Jurassic Park again, because I was planning and very happy to use the old-fashioned stop-motion technique of claymation dinosaurs.
This film might not be the best movie of the year, but it contains the best scene I've seen in 2011. I'm not going to give away the scene, but I'm going to give away the story that it's very similar to. Back in 1914, during World War I, this is an amazing story called the Christmas Truce. And the Germans and the British had a ceasefire on Christmas Day, came out of their trenches, came into the middle of the field, and played a football game. And the Germans won 3-2. And it was like this amazing story. And there's a scene in the film that's very similar to that, but it deals with a horse.
You see how Gina deals with every character in the movie, all these fight sequences. They're absolutely amazing. And I want to ask you a hypothetical question. If you look back on your career, look at all the characters that you've played, which one of your previous characters would have had a better chance beating her in a fight in this film?
Wow. It's... I don't know. I don't know, because actually the action characters that I did, they were not based so much in strength. They were based in ability, in being flexible. I remember thinking that when we were conceiving the character in Desperado, for example, that you mentioned before.
I would love to see Desperado go up against her. That'd be so freaking awesome. That'd be so awesome.
It would be fun.
It would be
fun and funny.
Yes, it would be amazing. Or Puss in Boots.
You know, actually, that's the character that can defeat her.
Yes. That's the next movie.
Obi-Wan Kenobi might be able to take her.
Yes.
Yes, you know, because he could take her with the Force. She would be, that would be it. It would be all over.
We want to shift gears for a moment. Obviously, you've heard the news this morning about the passing of Elizabeth Taylor, and I suspect you'll be talking to some of the stars about that later on today.
You know, it's amazing because we're down here in South America, and the ripples of Elizabeth's passing have made it down here, obviously. I mean, everybody just seems so distraught about this and saddened over this. We've lost somebody who's an icon, somebody who modern actresses look up to still today. They want to be like Elizabeth Taylor. All right, so Elton John approves my...
No, they're cool. Can I try them on?
Can I try yours on?
No, yeah. Actually, mine don't have any lenses on.
No, I like these.
See, they look great.
Why don't we just trade? Well, now
there you go.
Can you see that?
A shot of you with those glasses. Come and sit here. Go on.
I'm going to sit in Elton's chair. I'm going to sit in Elton's chair.